Hi, I'm Annette Baum. For those of you who don't know me, I think I know most of you though. I'm going to share with you a few of the ways that God worked on our mission trip to Lone Rock last 2 weeks ago. Yeah, anyway. There were 24 of us that went that you were praying for. So if any of those 24 people are here, could you stand up? Awesome. Yay. So those are a few of the people that you sent and that you were praying for. And I appreciate you praying for me right now because I'm really nervous. But I promised myself and God I wouldn't throw up or pass out. So I'm just going to tell you a few of the ways that God worked on the mission trip, that we got to see him work. I'm sure there were many, many more. But I'm just going to sum up a few of them. One of them was the prayer circle. And every night, all the teams would get back together, eat dinner, then we would worship, have some awesome music and some great devotionals, and then we would end the night with going out into the parking lot and joining hands in a big circle. And then if you had a special prayer request, you could take that into the inside of the prayer circle and everyone would be praying for you. So I wanted to tell you that awesome and mighty things have happened through that prayer circle through God. One of them, last year, if you went on the mission trip, we were praying for Bill Adams' daughter, Stacy, who had cancer. And this year, she is cancer-free, and she got to join us with her little children, and she gave us free tetanus shots for those who wanted them on the trip. But it was awesome that she was cancer-free. One of the ladies from Lone Rock, Pat Adams, her son Bert struggled with meth addiction for years and years. And last year we got to hear that he had beat those meth addictions. And this year we got to worship with him in church. So that was great. Renita, I don't know how many years ago it was because I'm really nervous, but when we went to Greensburg, she went in the circle, and every year since, for her mom, who was diagnosed with chronic leukemia. And this year, Renita reported that her mom was cancer-free and that the doctors thought she must have been misdiagnosed because there was no evidence that she had ever had cancer. And this year, I told myself I was going to bring Kleenex too, but this year, Miss Nadine, awesome. Wow, it's not even Mother's Day. That's great. Okay, now that's going to keep me from crying. This year, Miss Nadine, when she was shopping, and when she shops for food for the mission trip, she went and got 7 cartloads of food, and we went back every day for groceries. We did. And it makes a great impression when you go through the checkout line at Walmart with 7 carts of groceries. So she struck up a conversation with Miss Nancy. Miss Nancy said that it must have been God who brought her to her checkout line because that day she had found out she had a lump in each breast after 19 years of being cancer-free, and she also had a lump in her neck. And Miss Nadine stood in the prayer circle for her every night. And last Tuesday, Miss Nadine texted me and said that Miss Linda had talked to Miss Nancy at Walmart that day, and her doctor had told her there were no lumps, and that she must have been having a reaction to her medication because there was no evidence that she had had any lumps to begin with. So every day throughout the trip, our kids got to learn about missions. They went out and took food to a food pantry. They had a little VBS during the morning and got to do fun activities in the night or in the afternoon. And then they also made something and took to some elderly apartments and visited with the elderly. So it was great to see our little ones learning about missions. Every day we prayed for protection for the construction workers, and God answered those in a mighty way. On day one of Lone Rock's newest believers was there helping, and a bundle of shingles slid off the roof and just missed Joe. So that was an answer to prayer. The second day, poor Joe shot himself in the foot with a nail gun. And also on the second day, the guard that keeps the circular saw from hitting anything it's not supposed to didn't engage, and the saw took off towards Joe's foot across the floor. So I was starting to wonder what poor Joe did to the people at Lone Rock, and I started praying more for him. On day 3, we got the tetanus shots I told you about earlier, and Joe got a tetanus shot, which I thought was really, really good. And on day 4, Joe didn't come back. So I was a little worried about Joe, but nobody seemed to know where he was at. On day 5 was the biggest praise. Joe came back, and he said that the tetanus shot had made him really, really sick, and not my cooking. So, because if you know anything about me, you know I can cook, but I really don't like to. And God has put me on the cooking team every year, and I've loved it, and I wouldn't change a bit of that. But yeah, Joe didn't blame my cooking, so that was good. Our prayer walkers and Louis and Verletta and Bev and Leon were on that team every day, and Shauna Wood and Stacy Burgess got to go out with them. Every day they were in the place that God wanted them to be that day. And they talked to a lot of different people and got to share Christ with them and pray for them and listen to their hurts and concerns. And the one that made the biggest impact on me was when they knocked on the door, and the gentleman was on his deathbed, literally, in a hospital bed in his living room. And he had not made a profession of faith, and they got to share that with him. He did not accept that day, so please continue to pray for him, because I don't know, what seeds were planted that day, how God's going to water them, but just continue to pray for him. On day 1, Renita was looking for a verse. And day 2, she couldn't find it. Day 1, she couldn't find it. I don't know if you know, when you type in a verse and you're looking for a keyword search, you have to have it pretty close to actually find it. And we could not find this verse. I was trying to help her. And on day 3, she told the person she was looking for, I just cannot find this verse. I know it's in the Bible. I know it's in the Bible, but I can't find it. And a few hours later, Miss Dadine came in with little gifts for us. And all over that gift was the verse that Miss Renita was looking for. So it's just in God's perfect timing. So that was awesome. Most of all, it was just a blessing to get to know people from Covenant better and people from Lone Rock, and to encourage them. That was one of the best things about the mission trip for me. But it didn't stop when we came back. Every year, Miss Renita is asked to teach them a new song. And last year it was a Revelation song. And this year, the song that she picked was Our God, which we're going to sing next. And on Tuesday, Casey, who didn't get to go this year because he was playing in Wisconsin, he says he was happy about that, but he missed us. But when he heard we put 108 shingles on the roof, I'm not sure if or 108 square of shingles. I don't think he missed us as much, but anyway, he requested both of those songs, not knowing that Renita had already taught those to Lone Rock, and we'd got to worship to them all week long. So we're going to sing that next. But thank you so much for sending us, and keep praying for all those people that we came in contact with, that they would continue to see God's glory.